word, one line about yourself. Sorry, put your video on, Nidhi, please. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, go ahead.
नमस्कार फ्रेंड्स, आई एम निधि. आई एम पार्ट ऑफ भोपाल टीम. अभी हम यहाँ पर न्यूट्रिशन को लेकर काम कर रहे हैं भोपाल में, रूरल और अर्बन एरियाज में. थैंक यू.
Okay, धन्यवाद Nidhi ji. That was really nice. We'll get to know more about you later. Other than Dr. Ravi Narayan and Dr. Thelma Narayan, did I miss out anyone from
Yeah,
Sochara?
Azam bhai.
Azam Bhai. Oh, yeah. Okay, Azam Bhai. Oh, he's right here in front. Azam Bhai, please.
I'm Arun, and I am working in the Sochara MP team, and basically I am also a community health fellow of Sochara, and as per my education I am a lawyer, but last 13 years I am working with the communities. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Azam Bhai. Right. So, okay, with this, thank you everybody for that quick introduction from the Sochara team. So you will get to hear more about us and from us. With this, now I'll request Dr. Ravi and Dr. Thelma to make some opening remarks. After which we go to this magic bowl, and we're waiting. We are excited and waiting to hear. Not only we from Sochara, but everybody else is waiting to hear. And people have been demanding, do you have the profile list? Send us this, send us that. I said, wait, we will present the people as best as we can live, and then of course whatever is written on paper will make more sense, right? Okay, Ravi, Thelma, please, over to you now. Whoever wants to start.
We made a little pact, so I'm going to start first. Yeah.
Okay.
So, a very warm welcome to everybody, each one. I think you've had this brief introduction to our dream team, headed by Dennis, and the key person who's actually made the CHLP 2021 happen has been Guru over the several months. Actually, from last year, he's been working on it. And of course, you've met Radhika, Abu, Nidhi, Prahlad, and there are a few more who are not here on the screen, which you will meet over a period of time. And we are eagerly looking forward to sort of today and also for all the steps ahead. We actually, Sochara and CHC, as Guru rightly pointed out, as it was earlier called Community Health Cell, has always been a place which is very welcoming of young professionals or anybody young or old who's really young at heart, at least, who's passionately interested in something. Now, I think to be absolutely honest about myself, my initial step into community health actually came from a spirit of adventure. It wasn't any noble sort of desire to help suffering humanity or anything like that. It was a spirit of adventure which took me as a volunteer, as a medical intern, to the Andhra Pradesh cyclone way back in 1977. And that's when the roads were all blocked, and we then walked from village to village, and I got completely hooked onto both the idea of community and community health. And since then, there's been no looking back. It's always been one more exciting adventure after another. And in the process, one began to understand society in India much more closely, much more deeply, and understanding all the strengths, the very vibrant sort of communities we have, the huge energy that people have, the ability to rise above themselves in all circumstances, even very adverse circumstances. I never forget, during the Andhra Pradesh cyclone, we had a huge community meeting when our group was leaving, and the community very spontaneously thanked us and said, they said they even thanked the cyclone, saying that at least they brought them in contact with us. Now, I would never have ever thought of saying something when one had lost family members, many people lost their homes, lost their fields and everything. So that human spirit was something that was very moving. And I think that's what's been the flame or the inspiration that's kept me going all these years. It's now about 50 years since one has been in health related fields. So we really look forward to having all of you 35 as each one. I mean, I'd love to call you all by name, but my 2 minutes won't allow for that. But in this journey, and we've been having the CHLP formally roughly from 2002, though there were many pre-fellows, as we say, before that. And you'll find that these are all in various parts of the country, and you could always call on any of them. So if you reach out to any of us, we can connect you. And Nidhi and Azam in Madhya Pradesh know about the 60 participants in MP. Similarly, we have about over 45 in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu and different parts of the country, actually. So we are actually, you'll see over the past several years, there have been many people who've entered public health and the development sphere in India. And of course, you have people also in the community health sphere. So it is a growing critical mass, but I think in order to make a real difference, in order to reach or work towards health for all more effectively, we really need to create these micro communities and larger level networks at local level as well as state and national level. And I think the CHLP offers that sort of a platform to link each other and to grow in an understanding of community health. Community health is both simple and it can be very complex. So it's nice to find, when one is feeling low, focus on the simple things. And when one is feeling full of energy and zest and we want to change the world, then we focus on the more complex things. There are many complex things, as this pandemic clearly shows us, so those complexities are where we need each other much more, because we do want, all of us want to have a fairer and better world, especially in India. And of course, we understand the global connections that are there too. It was fascinating and a real honor to talk to each of you during those interviews we had, and we really wish that we could really have everybody who had applied, but we would very much have wanted to. It was a very tough thing to just say but we can't actually handle. It's the first time we're working with such a large group, and that also digitally. We're used to more the in person, where we start with songs and we do a lot of activities together, etc. But I think digital is the need of the hour, and I think we can all use it effectively. And we can sing songs. So anybody in the group who wants to sing, please feel free to do so. We can intersperse even today with a few songs if anybody is willing to do it. So just to end, I would say our focus is on really strengthening communities and community voice, and also in strengthening civil society. We realize the role of the public sector, the public health system. We're all trying to strengthen the public health system, but we realize that unless there are strong communities and strong civil society, those are the building blocks. And it takes time, and in fact lifetimes, to work on that. It's extremely sort of very meaningful, and I wish you all a very happy journey this year, and look forward to being in touch with you over the year. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Thelma. Of course, we will have a more formal kind of introduction into background, etc. But I think as we start off, let me add the following few things. Now, Dr. Thelma Narain is a medical doctor with a PhD in public health from London, and she's a very respected public health professional from India, and she, internationally as well, on several committees, and a much sought after speaker and a consultant on several boards as well. So I'm not going to go into all of this. Right. And in the context of today's discussion, for the four of us in the core committee, she's a beacon. She's the one who lights our path and tells us, okay, this is the way to go. And we are so grateful to you, Dr. Thelma Narain, for that. And most times when she speaks, I'm writing notes, right? Because there is so much of, wisdom that she shares. I keep telling, information is available all over the place. What we don't have is insights and inspiration. And that's what, people like Thelma Narain provide and bring to the table. So from Thelma Narain, let me move on to Dr. Ravi Narain, please. Go ahead, Ravi. You can. You'll only see yourself now because I've highlighted you there. So the rest of them are there, and I'll assure you they're all waiting with bated breath to hear you.
Okay. Friends, it's really a wonderful feeling as I celebrate the 50th year of my journey to get to know another 35 new friends today and 35 more in a little while, because there are going to be 70 of you who are starting this journey with Sochara well, today formally. Though many of you, I saw so many friends in those photographs. I was busy looking at and found, I don't want to name them because I might forget a few and they might feel bad, but I saw quite a few there whom I've already met and who've come and had chats with me. And so it was really nice to feel connected again. As you know now, for the last 5 years, my job in Sochara is called archivist and chief storyteller, because at the 50th year, as one of the elders of Sochara, who started, community health journey in 1971, and then Sochara with a group of friends in 84, and then registered in 91, and then moved back in 2008 first, and then 2018 to become basically archivist and storyteller. And so I'm going to do a lot of that during the course. So I know usually when I come on the screen, most Sochara team members begin to get nervous because of the fact that my stories can go on and on. Anyway, so I'll have other times for it, but I'll just quickly answer the 2 or 3 questions that you said. Now, when did my journey start? I was a young, confused intern, though I had done very well in St. John's Medical College in 1971 and had been an outstanding student and so on, but I didn't know what to do. And in a spirit of adventure, the same word that Thelma uses, and that's why you know why we got together, I decided with 2 friends to go to the refugee camps in these Pakistan refugee camps near the border, Indo-Pak border. When I heard in the paper, Deccan Herald, that 9 million refugees, larger than any other genocide in the past, have walked across a 1,000-mile border and are now in 10,000 camps, and the government was frantically asking for any doctor, nurse, intern, social worker, student, anybody to volunteer, because they were hoping that these refugees would stay for a little while and then go back. And I went there. And that 3 months of my life as an internship in community medicine completely changed my life. And since then, I have never had a session, teaching session, discussion, without going back to that little Neelganj village, which was 10,000 people living on a field not larger than a football field, next to the side of a river. And 3 months of my professional life, when I started as a young doctor, I spent there. And it was the most beautiful experience of my life, and which I shall tell you some other time maybe. But I just want to share one thing, because that's what I caught, the virus, not COVID, but of community health. And this virus was due to many stories which are there on my blog. If any of you go there, it's called narayanblog@blogspot.com. But the most important story was at the last day when we were leaving. And incidentally, that happened to me, my birthday also. I was just leaving the camp. The team, all the community came and said, Ravi Bhai, Ravi Da as they used to call us, because we were all in Bengal. And I was the only one in the group of 3 who knew a little bit of the language. And so I could speak to the people and walk among them and so on. So they said, we want to give you something very precious. And we said, oh, no, don't worry, you're all refugees. We're all urban, elite, privileged people. And these refugees have had to have everything from food, clothing, shelter. And so they said, no, we want to give you something very precious, which we brought from Bangladesh. And we felt very, not Bangladesh, East Pakistan, but we felt very, said, no, don't give it to us. It's okay, you keep it. Maybe thought it may be money, it may be something. They said, no, come tonight. And we will share, come after dinner. So we knew it wasn't food. And when we reached there, you won't believe what they did. They had sold a little bit of their own rations and things, got a dhol and a harmonium. And the whole night they sang the songs of Rabindranath Tagore and Nazrul Islam, the 2 poets who are and they said, you see, Tika Khan could take away our lives and our land and our job and everything, but he could not take away our culture. And we give this to you. And it was really such a moving experience. I even got a photograph of it, that every time I feel low, I think of that, because I learned that community health starts by learning from the community. Okay, now that's been a long journey. I'm not going to continue after that. I came back and decided to join public health, and then I'll tell you all that later. For about 20 years, from 1971, I spent a lot of time in communities, and there are stories of the Malur Health Cooperative, both in St. John's. We set up 7 such centers, and later when we started in Sochara, a group of us, community health. But in 20 years later, 71 to 91, we realized that a few of us doing this is not going to be enough. It has to be growing in numbers. It has to be a movement, because unless more and more young professionals with dreams to help people and to help people from any profession, not only medicine. And so we started Sochara, and that's a different story another day maybe. And finally in nearing 2000, when another 10 years had passed, we said, hey, this is also not enough, because each of us getting inspired, the 35 of you now and another 70, to some little village, some little center, somewhere is not enough. We have to link all of these people together. They have to feel connected. We have to become like a movement. And so we all became, Sochara became one of the core initiators of the Jan Swasthya Abhiyan, the People's Health Movement, and you'll hear about that also. In 2008, when I reached 60 years, I felt, hey, this is not enough, because now we have hundreds and hundreds of young people from different backgrounds, different political backgrounds, religious backgrounds, professional backgrounds, all dropping into community health, all linked up through the movement. But the system is not listening. The system is not listening because we are all communicating to ourselves. We are communicating through our own little resources, but we're not engaging with the system. And so we started the next sort of engaging with the system. And I've had a wonderful experience of engaging with WHO, engaging with St. John's Medical College, engaging with All India Institute, PGI Chandigarh, just promoting this idea that community health has to be a movement. And a movement is what community health is all about. Medicine is health and health is community health. So I just want to leave you with these 3 thoughts. I only specify because that one of the simplest ways is that welcome to all of you. I've always start the second, little story is about when suppose you walked into a room full and the tap is open and the water is spilling, as is now happening in the surge of COVID. More and more COVID is coming and so on. And we are now busy floor mopping. We are busy mopping with remdesivir and oxygen and this, and we have to do that. But we also know in our heart of hearts, the science has taught us that there are ways by which we can turn off the tap of COVID. And turning off the tap of COVID using the social vaccine of mask or of social distancing, sanitizing, and going much deeper into ecological sensitivity and handling poverty and migration, so on. So this is what we are all going to be journeying together. So I welcome you all today to starting this journey. Many of you, from what I've heard from Dennis and Thelma and others who interviewed you, you people have already started the journey. Many of you we have met, so we welcome you all. We welcome you to this journey. And I only want nowadays, when you take on a new app or something, there's always a disclaimer. So I'm going to give you a small disclaimer, which you must be a caution. It's a caution to you that you can join Sochara, but you can never leave it. Because Sochara over the years has created so many words that will describe you. So today you may be fellow, but soon you'll become Sochara associate, Sochara field mentor, Sochara partner, Sochara friend, Sochara networker. You'll become a member of Medico Friends Circle, Jan Swasthya Abhiyan, Makkala Dalava Yukam, and so on. So this is just warning all of you that from today, you are joining a network, and a network of community health, which goes far beyond Sochara. Sochara is just a small catalyst, the little green campus that some of you have visited, and we hope you will visit before the end of this course. So welcome all of you, and really thanks for joining or linking your journey to our continuing journey. I'd like to also end by thanking all Guru, particularly because Guru it's been a dream of Guru ever since he joined and replaced Thelma as coordinator. that he should restart CHLP because we always felt that was our best. But I'd like to thank him and the little core group of Dennis, Radhika, and uh, Abu, but more importantly, all our team members, because without them, especially Prahalad and Amir and Ravi and Azam and Nidhi and all the new ones who've come, Sri Lakshmi, Judy, I should be naming them, but I leave out a few with memory as a challenge nowadays. But all of them and the whole office team, we have been working in it, making it happen. And we really look forward to this continuing journey and getting to know all of you as this goes. So as usual, I've gone beyond my 90 seconds, but that's acceptable probably for a 72-year-old who rambles a bit nowadays. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Ravi. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. Thanks for the warning as well. So you can get into Sochara, but you can never leave. You're welcome to get in. So some of you, I'm sure, may reminisce about this famous song by the Eagles. You can check in, but you can never leave, right? So I'm going to leave it to you to figure out which song that was a very, very famous song in the 70s. A couple of lines, let me take the prerogative or the privilege to add about Dr. Ravi Narayan as well. So he as well is from St. John's. He was the best outgoing student from St. John's. It's a very, very competitive, prize to get. And then he went on to Ames to do his master's, then went on to London, UK, to do further training in public health. And, his internship changed his mind and his life. And what he is doing now, everybody who comes in touch with him, most, I would say, majority of the people take a U-turn in their life, and they have been always happy that they took that U-turn in their life. So thanks, Ravi, for changing so many people's lives. And I can go on and on and on, but he's a very rare breed these days. He's the chief storyteller. We have all kinds of people. They can give you lectures, they can give you all kinds of things, but sit down and tell you stories that are compelling. Is amazing. So we're all very privileged to be with him. So I've known him for 24 years. So very soon I should celebrate 25th year of Sochara Association soon. So thank you, Ravi, for touching so many people's lives. I'll end this part with just telling you a few things about what Sochara is about. Many people may want, I've heard so much. You may want to come here and expect a big building with multiple people, a reception, this, that, and all of that. No, we have a modest building with modest number of people here in our central office, but we are networked with hundreds of institutions. I can't even start that list in India, internationally. More than that, the reputation that Sochara has built is something incredible. And the chief architects just spoke to you just now, right? And it's a network of people. Again, they never take credit for the work that they do and the impact that they have had. So it's hundreds of networks and thousands of people. I don't think even Ravi Narayan and Thelma Narayan can actually list out the people that they have impacted, and even more difficult to measure the impact it's had on communities and health in general, not just in India, but outside as well. So with this, let's move on to getting to know about you, and that's the main part of our agenda. So as we'd like to do, pick your names from here, and we'd like you to spend about 90 seconds. If you go to 2 minutes, it's okay. If you go to 3 minutes, it's not a crime. But if you go to 30 minutes, I'm not sure what to call that. Okay, but I hope you get the idea. There'll be plenty of time and opportunity for us. The best part about CHLP that I've heard since 2002 is people coming together in small groups, right? Virtually and physically traveling. So they're here for a short while, and then they go away. They go to Bhopal, they go to Chhattisgarh somewhere, they go to Kerala, they go up in the hills, they go to coastal areas, they go to all disadvantaged places in the country. They travel together, they face the hardships together, and they become lifelong friends. And that is the bonding that CHLP since 2002 has happened, and we're trying to replicate that through these screens. and and the screen is wonderful. There are actually 3 pages. I'll have to keep moving, across pages, and I urge you to do that as well, so that you keep seeing more and more people. Of course, I will highlight or spotlight those of you who are speaking, and occasionally I'll go back to the gallery view so we can see the others as well. So are we okay with the rules of our game from here onwards? So it's really a game, right? So I'm going to give this a good shake. Right, hold on. My daughter was making fun of me this morning. She's 21, and then she think, Dad, what are you doing? Arts and crafts? Aren't you too old for that? I was sitting and cutting this on our dining table, and Dad, you got to become a little more modern. You can't be doing this, putting into a bowl. There is this app, there is this website where you put people's names and you put the probability, and then the name pops out. I said, I'll figure that out, my dear, and later on, but for today, I'll do this. Okay, so take your time, and we start with Pragya Acholia from Kota in Rajasthan. Pragya, can you put your hands up so you're coming on the front screen? Can you raise your hands or start speaking? Pragya, unmute, because I don't know, so that I can spotlight you. Where's Pragya?
Hi, am I audible?
Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I found you, Pragya. Okay, great. So yes, you're on the spotlight now, and your video is excellent. Thank you very much for that. And go ahead.
Hi everyone, I'm Pragya. So I am someone who's switched fields and is still sort of trying to figure out what I really like doing. So I did my bachelor's in geography, and then I did my master's in liberal studies, my specialization being environmental psychology. And I recently last year worked with COVID positive patients with a mental health support group, and that's how I got to know about Sochara. And currently I'm working with Ashoka University and sort of working with students and looking forward to this journey. And it's been exciting to hear everyone and just know that there's so much to sort of learn and look forward to. So yeah.
Good. You have a little more time. You can tell us something more interesting about yourself, or maybe something non-professional, so that we get to know.
So yeah, I've learned music for 6 years. So that's something about me that I like doing on the side. So I can play 3 instruments and just sing. Apart from that, I like traveling. I like going on adventures, working with different groups of people, interacting. So yeah, and working with students in general, just sort of reading. Yeah, so that's about me.
Good. Thank you very much, Pragya. Appreciate that. Right. So let me go back to my magic box, and so we have Shraddha Badwaik from Maharashtra now. Shraddha? Shraddha, are you there? Can you start speaking? Unmute and start speaking, please.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Shraddha.
Yeah. I'm Shraddha from Maharashtra. Actually, my graduation in social work and my master is gender study in Pune University. And last time I'm working in Janswa Sahyog Ganyari. This is Samstha community health program. और अभी मैं महाराष्ट्र में महिला एक मेरा एक डेजर्टेशन मैंने किया था लास्ट टाइम कुर्मा प्रथा लाइक मेंस्ट्रुएशन पे तो उस पर ही मैं और पढ़ने के लिए अभी लाइक जॉब से लीव लेके अभी यहाँ पर महाराष्ट्र में गढ़चिरौली करके एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट है गोंदिया गढ़चिरौली वहाँ पर अभी पढ़ाई कर रही हूँ और यस थैंक यू
Good. Tell us a little bit more about your other interests as well. Yes. What else you like to do in your free time?
यस मुझे पढ़ना बहुत अच्छा लगता है और अलग अलग जगह पे जाके घूमना और एडवेंचर ये बहुत अच्छा लगता है लाइक ट्रैकिंग एंड राइड बाइसिकल एंड और नए लोगों से बात करना उन लोगों से जल्दी इंटरेक्शन होना ये मुझे काफी अच्छा लगता है
Good. Thank you very much for that. Good. So let me pick the next person. That would be Dr. Anbudarai from Chennai. Dr. Anbudarai, start speaking, please, so we know where you are and I can spotlight you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Morning. You're loud and clear. Go ahead, Anbudarai.
Yeah, so I was hoping a few more people will talk so that I get some kind of a pattern and or some kind of a a level or something. So I'll just bluff through and try to stay within the 3 minutes max that you've given. So yeah, so basically I'm usually Anbu, but yeah, professionally I'm Dr. C. Anbu Durai. Primarily, I've had my growing up all over India, different parts of North and South India, and I'm comfortable with quite a few of the major languages. So I'm primarily a psychiatrist. Though last 1 year I've not been working so much, but it's been a kind of a good downtime, I would say. I've made it a point to do a online daily book group every evening at 7 p.m. Today we have an hour Gandhi, a book by one of my psychiatrist friends. So he was my classmate in Nimhans. So I invite you all also. And if it's okay, I'll share the link in our group, the WhatsApp group. So yeah, so primarily I'm a psychiatrist. I'm very interested in community psychiatry, but I've primarily done more work as a clinician, more one-on-one. I'm associated with the Banyan, so quite a lot of training and all that goes. Although Banyan has a separate a teaching establishment called BAM, I have been hardly even a visiting consultant there because there are other people who do all that work. So I've primarily worked one-on-one with people and in the communities. Yes, doing a little bit of mental health awareness and training, for community workers, social workers, and all that. So that's been my work since I came back to Chennai, and that's like almost 93 or something, 92, 93. And uh, I've done my MBBS, and then I did my psychiatry, that is from Nimhans, and finally I also went through a PG program in MD program in community medicine, but which I didn't complete. So in a way, although it influenced me a lot, and I started doing a lot of things due to various reasons. I had not followed it up, but it's always there in my background, like they say in Hindi, zehen mein hai, it's there. So and I try to bring it anywhere, everywhere. So and I strongly believe that community medicine uh, or community health or community development is the only way forward. And unfortunately in India, we don't talk much about it, we don't know much about it, and we don't care, obviously, so we don't care much about it. So it's very heartening to know that there's been this initiative and you've been going strong for so many decades and building up so many networks. When I came in, I thought I was applied, I thought, okay, to be a to start from scratch and totally refresh and try to all these like Ms. Janice was talking about the crafts and chalk and talk. So I am also more of that, you know. So I thought the first thing is I'll get familiar with all these dinky, geeky kind of gizmos and all the whatever that state of art kind of online digital tools and everything. Secondly, research methodology, and thirdly, to design a study to develop on some of my own ideas. But what I am realizing with what Dr. Narayan was saying, that while those are things that I can do, but I think the more important thing might be to network, so that more than ostrich in the head, doing whatever you can, widen it out and shout out and stretch your hands out and pull people in, and that's what I think is more important. And it's very gratifying to see so many people, and I'm very interested to listen to so many more people. So this is the basic thing. And one word that I must put in is two concepts that I'm very taken up now. Are One is open dialogue. So that's something which started in Finland and is going on now in many other countries. And Banyan has taken a lead in India and has started training for that. So open dialogue is a place where how we can communicate and work together. So I thought that's a very important thing in communities, and that's one thing. Second thing, of course, everybody knows mindfulness and the Buddhist kind of thing, which I'm very, very impressed with. And I think as a socio-political and comprehensive kind of community document, you can't beat them, because it's taken care of so many things and so many ways, especially how to interact and stuff. So, and how to be and what to do and stuff, and the attitude and all that. These are two things which have this thing. And finally, I'm someone who, while these are all serious things that you're forced to look at, because that's what is happening to the country and to the world itself, and we all need to do our little boy scout stuff and all that, because unfortunately the people who are supposed to be running it are making a big mess of it, and ordinary people are not connected and not aware of many things. So we perforce have to volunteer and do all this. Like Pragya or someone was saying, she loves meeting people. So luckily we love people, so we also don't mind doing all this also. But if all this was taken care of, then what I would love is to put up my feet with a nice cup of chocolate or coffee and tea, and any kind of books. I have a huge collection of books, which you can sort of see here. So that side and inside and all that. So I believe in a community library sort of thing that I'm working on, and this whole daily online book reading thing. So we've done almost 310. So we want to make it a perpetual online thing, so that free of cost, every day someone or the other comes and reviews a book, and there's a live discussion going on. Other than that, I'm a Bollywood, Hollywood, not Hollywood. Though I'm a very English oriented person, otherwise, I have difficulty with the accent. So I find it very difficult. So and I'm also not too much into reality in my entertainment, at least. So Hollywood is a little more real, whereas I love the usual, all the corny, cliche kind of Bollywood, Collywood stuff. Arey beta, Bahu Kab Laega, Arey Ma, those kind of things I just love, and all those corny, absolutely silly kind of escapist thing. And in Tamil and also the other language, I find, compared to English, even other Indian languages, I'm able to connect without the even without the language. So like that, I love singing. I mean, whether I sing well or not, but I love singing, and I know all kinds of. Because of my schooling and all that, I've some songs which I don't even know the meaning, and so I sing that. And I work with volunteer groups, not formal organized volunteering, but more in an informal, random acts of kindness type of things. So whatever, so it's an integrated kind of volunteer setting where you look at whatever you want to do, whether it's environment, whether it's literary, whether it's employment, whether it is health, empowerment, about politics and about rules, rights, all that. So we do a very integrated and multiple things. So these are things so yeah, so I think I might have overshot. So thank you for the thing, and I'm eager to listen to the other people and connect with other people, and hopefully we can all meet actually.
Right. Thank you very much, Anbu. Sorry, leave your video on for a few more seconds. I just wanted to check with you. You have you have a clue how long you spoke?
Sorry,
Do you know how long you spoke?
I don't know, 10 minutes.
Okay, roundabout there. Okay, so 1.5 minutes to 10 minutes. So this is a good example of people, just getting lost, which is fine. I mean, I kind of get used to this in community health, amongst community health professionals, which is fine. But in the interest of giving everyone ample time to speak, so let's endeavor to keep to time. I didn't want to interrupt Anbu because he is always so informative and entertaining as well. I've heard him during the interview. I don't think we stuck to our time when we had to interview you. So that's fine, Anbu. Thank you for sharing. Is my request to the others to try and keep to our time. 1.5 minutes is what we kind of just get to know you quickly, and then we'll have ample time later on. Okay, so let me go back and pick the next person, and this would be Nidhi Kamath. Nidhi, please. Yeah.
Hello,
Go ahead, Nidhi.
everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you, Nidhi. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Nidhi and I'm from Mangalore in Karnataka. I have completed my chemical engineering, and after my engineering, I got an opportunity to pursue a 2-year fellowship in Gadchiroli. So, as Shraddha had mentioned, Gadchiroli is an Naxalite tribal district located in the eastern part of Maharashtra. So, this was truly a life changing experience for me, where we lived with the tribal community and initiated projects in both the health as well as the education sector. And these 2 years gave me a perspective of the grassroots realities faced by the tribals in the rural part of our country. And currently, I am interning at a research institution based in Mangalore, and I plan to pursue my master's in public health in the near future. And I'm eagerly looking forward to start this new learning journey together. And I would like to thank Sochera for giving me this opportunity, and I feel really grateful to be a part of this team. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Nidhi. Can you add a little bit more about yourself in terms of your other interests? I mean, it's nice, from chemical engineering to Gadchiroli to, it's a fascinating story. I remember you telling that. Something more about yourselves, which, others can, also reflect on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so my hobbies, I play the piano, and in the pandemic, it has been really difficult because my immediate family members are frontline workers. So I've started composting and gardening, which helps me connect with nature and try to maintain my calm. And I also enjoy teaching. So I've been volunteering with the organizations like Vidya Loka, where through Skype, we teach underprivileged children in rural parts of India. Thank you.
Wonderful, Nidhi. Thank you so much. I just realized we're exactly, oh no, we just passed our halfway through mark, just passed. So for our own health, I think we'll take a 30-second break. And what we will do is we'll all stand wherever we are, just stand a bit and stretch. I know, right? If you can just stand, if you want to put off your video, you can do that as well if you want, but I'll keep my video on so that you all can see what I'm going to do, which is just take a deep breath, put my hands up and stretch. The first time it'll take a little more than 30 seconds, but next time onwards, we'll do it in 30 seconds. So stand everybody. Okay, take a deep breath and hands up and make a fist, hands up. And then as if all the stress, you're going to throw it away, right? Okay, I'll demonstrate it. Once more. Okay, let's do it together now. It'll be fun. 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath, hands up. Breathe out. Last time. Okay, and then shake a little bit. Just jog in your place, shake a little bit, and sit down, sit down, sit down. Right? We did that in 30 seconds. Fantastic. Feel refreshed? Everybody feeling refreshed, please put a thumbs up on your screen, or say this, or put a thumbs up. And then we move to the next person. We put a next person is here. Aditya Kumar Das from Jharkhand, Ranchi. Aditya, please have your video back on. Please have your video back on.
Hi.
Yeah,
Audible?
Aditya, go ahead. Yes, perfect. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So I am Aditya Kumar Das. Basically, I am from Jharkhand, so Johar, and so I am working with CINI, Child in Need Institute from last 2.5 years, but in this development sector from last 12 years. In Sydney, I'm looking after the knowledge management as a knowledge management manager. So my focus is totally on data, and I believe that data without without its use is a kind of junk. So basically, it need to be used. So I did my graduation in BCA, Bachelor in Computer Application, then Rural Development from XISS, Ranchi, Xavier Institute of Social Services. And from 2009 onward, I worked with government, international NGOs, and national NGOs also. So I have experiences in terms of authentication to the five-star hotel meeting, all those kind of things. But I believe if you are going to have something really to do for your community, then you need to be from the community. Without it, it's never going to be success or sustainable kind of thing. So other than my professional life, I love to play with my baby girl. She's 3.5 years. So from last two years, I believe that the family has become very important. So other than that, I love Excel. I love Excel to the extent that, you know, dashboard. If you talk about dashboard, uh, dashboard is not about wave or, you know, some visit kind of thing only. So if you know Excel to the extent, there is nothing impossible uh, to do in which is not can be done in Excel, and it can be done in some other analytical software like SPSS or Stata. So other than these things, I love to read body language. So I used to see people. I used to view their languages, how they talk, and what can they are thinking right now. So it's a, you can say it's the kind of hobby of mine. So I love to read their mind, you can say. But definitely 70% time of I'm going to be wrong, but I love the 30% when they are saying yes, you are correct. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Aditya. That was nice. So, yeah, so those of us liking to manage data, so we know an expert out here. He can help us with our project. Okay, so let's move on to the next person. And this is Nidin Joseph. Nidin, all right, here you are.
Hi, I'm Nidin, and I'm working with Doctors Without Borders as medical coordinator in the NTB project. So I will shortly tell me about my journey. So about after my MBBS, I uh, went to US to do my MPH. So after I did my MPH. Doing my MPH, I volunteered with the Association for India's Development. There I came to know that there is an organization called JSS who is working in the villages of Chhattisgarh. So I was very interested to come back and work. So when I came back, I came to know there was a flood disaster in Uttarakhand, and because of that, I and my wife went there to volunteer there, and then we got a job there, and it was my dream to stay in the hills and work with the people there. So we could do that, and after that, we thought we should go to Northeast Himalayas in Arunachal, and we got a job there also, and it was good to work with the community there. And after that, I was able to go to Meghalaya also. We worked with the community there, had a great time. And now we have started a organization called Yumeta Foundation along with like-minded friends, and we are planning to do workshops for the youth empowerment and youth sensitization. It will be a 1.5 years journey with them, and hope to continue a lifelong journey with them, so that we can learn from them, and we can hope if they need any help, we can support them. And at the same time, because of the COVID pandemic, we have recently started planning for a COVID call center, and and some of our friends in the CHLPs has also joined us, so that we can do something in this COVID pandemic. So this is a small bit about what I am doing. And my hobbies are I like to travel and I like trekking, and I also like to bird watch. Uh, and earlier I used to catch snakes, but not now. And I also like to do adventure sports. Thank you.
Good, Nitin. Thank you for sharing all of that, your journey as well as all your interests. So, moving on. That's an interesting combination of bird watching and snakes. One up in the trees and one in the. Interesting. Good, good. Ashutosh Tripathi from MP. Ashutosh, start speaking. Ashutosh,
Yeah.
unmute, please.
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh. Um, yeah, so myself, Dr. Ashutosh, and I belong to a small town in Madhya Pradesh named Damoh. And uh, yeah, so I am a MBBS doctor, and I started my career as a medical officer here in Madhya Pradesh, in one of the small town, and in 2011. And so I was working with one of the remotes, CSC, and was kind of doing up and down. And I thought uh, there are better places where I could utilize my knowledge and put some better. So I was exploring new areas, and I then enrolled in masters in public health and did my masters in public health JNU. Uh, since then, I was working as a public health professional. I've been to Germany and came back. I started my career as a research coordinator with one of the feminist organization, SAMA. Incidentally, I had a chance to know about the work related to Sochara, and had a chance to uh, listen Dr. Thelma as well that time. So I had worked with Japaigo, ICMR, WHO Technical Support Network, and I'm currently leading a project with the International Union Against Tuberculosis, and I'm as a project lead. I I am working in the domain of tuberculosis and drug-resistant tuberculosis since last 5 to 6 years as a subject matter expert for drug-resistant tuberculosis. My key interest area are uh, tribal research in tribal health and health economics. I'm also doing my PhD from Massachusetts University. My topic is revolving around the patient support system in tuberculosis, basically health economics of the TB in relation to the catastrophic cost. My key interests or hobbies are like sports, music, and reading. Uh, I love playing badminton, table tennis, volleyball. Yeah, so this is all about me. I'm looking forward to learn more about community engagement, community health. I had chances to, had a glimpse of it while I was working as a research coordinator in Sama. And I'm simply inspired by the work that Suchara is currently doing and looking forward to learning more. Over to you, Dr.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Ashutosh. Nice, really vast experience and good interest as well. So, what kind of music and books? Very briefly.
Yeah, so I like ghazals. In books, I like non-fictional, any kind of non-fiction. So it depends on the mood, and I cannot name it as of now. But yeah.
All right. Good. We should exchange more views later on. Uh, right. Just to take a short break from introducing each other. One of the things I've heard from CHLPs in the past is of course people were all together here, and there's a lot of singing and activity sharing, etc. So maybe if I could invite one of you to maybe sing one of your favorite songs, and then we'll do that in 2 minutes. 2 minutes means 120 seconds. Maybe the first two paras or whatever, and then we should all be prepared for some little break like this. So who'd like to volunteer? And if you don't volunteer, we have an excellent person here who's very good at making people volunteer, and that is Dr. Radhika. So she's going to tell people, she's going to nominate you. So better to volunteer, otherwise. Uh, Slowly, little later, Guru will tell you the title that we have given here later, but not today. We can't reveal everything today, right? So Radhika is very good at that. So better to volunteer. Okay. So who's gonna sing us? And then sometimes you have the songs that you want to sing when you're in a camp or in a group together, etc. Something that's gonna little take a break from here and also change our mood and perspective. Yes, volunteers, please. And in any language, you can sing in any language. Portuguese, Swahili, anything is fine. And then one other item that's possible later on is, maybe Dr. Anbu giving us some dialogues, some cheesy dialogues from Bollywood or Collywood or Tollywood, whatever. So he gave us a little flavor, but we'll keep that for later. So song time, people. Okay, I'm going to count up to 5. If not, then Dr. Radhika is going to nominate people. I don't know how she's going to figure out that you're good in singing. You know what's better? If you're
Hello.
bad in singing, right? If you're good in singing, there's nothing. If you're bad
Hello,
in singing,
sir.
it's going to be even more entertaining. So, okay, I'm going to count up to 5 for people to volunteer. And I'm going to
Hello,
count
sir.
reverse.
She's already
Yes.
volunteering, Niveta.
Oh, we have volunteers.
Hi,
Okay,
sir.
Niveta?
Good
Niveta is going to sing for us.
afternoon, it is. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead, Niveta.
I would
No,
like
if you have
to
a sore
sing.
throat, that's even better. Go ahead.
I would like to sing, but I don't know. Already I'm bad at singing, but still my throat is again more. But I wish to sing this song. It is in the Tamil. It is from the movie Indra. It's the song Acham Acham Illai song. So in that, I don't know. This was going in my mind from the morning. That the line is, if anybody in Tamil, if you know this line, please join with me. I'm having a very bad throat. So the line is, வானம் பக்கம் இனி வாழ்க்கை ரொம்ப பக்கம் அச்சம் துச்சம் என்றால் பக்கம் பக்கம் சொர்க்கம் வானம் பக்கம் இனி வாழ்க்கை ரொம்ப பக்கம் அச்சம் துச்சம் என்றால் பக்கம் பக்கம் சொர்க்கம் பூமி திறந்து கிடக்கு அட பழுசம் பய மனசு பூட்டி கிடக்கு பூமி திறந்து கிடக்கு அட மனுசம் பய மனசு பூட்டி கிடக்கு இனி அச்சம் இல்லை இனி அடிமை இன்னம் இல்லை இனி அச்சம் இல்லை இனி அடிமை இன்னம் இல்லை நம் காலம் இங்கே கூடி போச்சு கண்ணீர் மிச்சமில்லையே. Yes, that's it. I don't know, this song was really very powerful, I feel. Whenever we go to any community or like anything who are in a worried condition or anywhere, this lyrics gives a more power, I feel. I don't know, from the morning I hear this, I just wish to song it. I'm sorry for my voice and everything.
Niveta, can you share the little bit of the meaning of the song?
What does it mean?
Yes. So this is like, don't be afraid at all. Don't be afraid at all. That was the main thing. And the thing is, the world is very open to us, but our human minds are closed right now. So just come out and have all this. Yes, பூமி திறந்து கிடக்கு அட மனுஷன் பய மனசு போட்டு கிடக்கு இனி அச்சம் இல்லை. So here there is no fear at all, and we are not a slave of anyone. So just come out, leave all your worries, and get the things from the world which is very open to all. That was the line.
All right, folks, can we unmute and give her an applause? Yeah. Unmute everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very appropriate, lovely words and nice song.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, good.
Dennis,
Yes, Ravi, go ahead.
I just want to say one small thing as a follow-up to this. So, Chad, one of the famous things about CHLP is that because people came from different language areas, and we were in the early pre-COVID days, were able to meet together. We used to sing together. And Medico Friends Circle, which is a group where everybody always visits from Sochara whenever there's a meeting, used to get used to a wonderful Sochara choir, which I hope will evolve in this CHLP too, where people from all parts of India would go, students, and sing in Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Khasi all together. So it was really lovely to see Northeastern girls singing in Tamil and Jharkhandi singing in Malayalam and so on. And I think this is very important. Music can really be, and I hope that maybe there will be a CHLP 2021 choir by the end of it, yes, which is not led by Guru, Abu, Radhika, Dennis and all of us, because we're busy doing the online, but you can initiate it on your own. Okay.
And this particular song can be like a theme song. It's got really fantastic
And it
words.
can
Yeah.
then be different languages also, because I think don't be fearful, go out and the world is open for you. It's such a wonderful, like an anthem for this CHLP 2021. So thanks, Nivet.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Nivet.
sir. Thank you. I would like to send that song in the group after the class.
Yeah, please.
Definitely send that.
Please, and please write your translation as well in that.
Sure,
In your own words, you write
Sure.
that translation, and we'll certainly appreciate
would love to. Would love to. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, great. So doing a time check, it's 12:15. We have scheduled up to 12:30, right? And I feel we are just warming up. I'm okay with time, but a priori, some people have said we have to leave to go for other engagements. So I have two strategies. One is picking up with the ball, but after some time I keep this away and I say, see, we have 15 minutes. We could do about maybe even five more people. But there are some people who want to know today, I will not get sleep well, or I lose my appetite if I did not share my story, right? So we leave this aside, and anyone who feels you want to share right now, that is number one, be prepared. Point number two is, are we okay to extend time? I'm okay to go until 1 o'clock because I feel we are okay. So everybody okay with extending time till 1 p.m.? Yeah. So just give a thumbs up or just wave out and say you're generally okay. All right. Okay. So we do understand that few of you may have other commitments. So if you're going to leave, you just send us a message. Send us a message that we're leaving at this time, and on the chat box, so we know you have left at this particular time. And then that's the reason why we're recording. So we'll make this recording available, and this is a feel of how CHLP 2021 is evolving. Before I forget, let me take a very short time to give you an overview of CHLP as well as what's coming. I won't take more than 2 minutes, and I will keep track of time. Right. So this is 35 people who have been selected through the Sochara process, right? And time permitting, I'll give you a profile of the participants now, right? And happy to tell you that we will have another 35 people who will come through the CHAI network. CHAI stands for Catholic Health Association, Hospitals Association, or now it's Health Association of India. It's a large network of over 3,500 institutions, and they have their own process of selection. So we are partners. So overall, CHLP 2021 will have 70 people. The other 35, almost all of them, they have not completed their process. They're sending us their selected participants or their fellows. Almost all of them are religious sisters, nuns who are working in different healthcare settings, from medium-sized hospitals to one-person health centers in different parts of the country, and they're doing some incredible work. Right. So 17th of May, you will recall we had told all of you that we're going to have the orientation session, and we were all set for this before this pandemic hit us really hard, particularly in Bangalore in the last few days. And therefore, Dr. Thelma Narayan suggested that we have another session, alternate session, called COVID Conversations. That is, each of us, and I'll maybe invite Dr. Thelma to, in a minute, just tell us what this is. Where broadly speaking, it's just us sharing our own experiences about of what we're going through in COVID. Most of us, no, almost all of us are affected significantly by this, right? So we will, following this, after we spend a week doing this, we will come back and we will announce the date on when we will formally have the orientation session and start off our modules. Just a line or two about the modules. We're going to have 30 modules, starting from mental health to maternal and child health, right to health to environment to multiple issues, and you have seen that. So those are our modules, and we are preparing the delivery of this modules shortly, and all of that would be done online. In addition, CHLP, in addition to those modules, which will consist of short videos, live sessions, additional learning material, reflective writing, some assignments, etc. All right, we also will match you with a mentor who will work with you right through this several months that you'll be with us, 1 year. And there'll also be a field project. It'll not be as previously held in CHLP, uh, uh, but in a format which allows us to do things online with limited travel if necessary. So I'll stop here and request Dr. Thelma to briefly share her idea that we're going to implement on COVID conversations. Dr. Thelma?
Yeah, I'll keep it really brief because I know there are many who have to leave, and it's nice to have them sharing, before that time. So the conversation, I mean, all of us have either been infected or affected by COVID in one way or the other. Friends, family, people we know have been affected. So we thought it would be a good idea to have each one, and then maybe some volunteers among the group who can share in some greater detail, about what has happened over the past, ever since the pandemic broke, and we are aware of it, and we can keep it a little open-ended. We also thought we could invite some of our alumni, from previous years who also have been working. And so it'll be a connection between you and others, and perhaps get a couple of, interesting people who would also share from their experience. So we thought if we have, like, say, 7 to 10 such COVID conversations, then it'll be a lead up to the formal launch of the program. That's it.
Right. Thank you, Thelma, for that. So a few of you have messaged and said you'll have to leave by 12:30. Some of you by 12:45. We will miss you, but this recording will be available, and I'm sure you want to hear what your fellow travelers, as we call you, we don't call you batchmates, or we don't call you because you started a journey along with us, and then we kind of continue. So some of you, expressed the interest to share now. We leave this ball aside, and then we will start with those who would like to share today. And we'll start with Ankit. Ankit Das, would you like to go ahead?
Hi. Yeah. So I'm so happy to actually been hearing from everybody, and there's so much collective experience and wisdom for everyone. Actually, somehow I've arranged for a silent space right now, so I wanted to share a bit earlier. Um, uh, I've done my graduation in computer science, like masters in computer science, and since about 8 years, I have been, I would rather call wandering and roaming around in the country, along with doing some work here and there, out of which major of my work right now exists in Assam. And I actually started an organization in 2017 after working with different organizations like Gunj and some German organizations in sanitation and other things. So we already work on mental health, community mental health, and that's what also made me interested in the CHLP. But as well as that, I always thought that how can I actually access more deeper knowledge in health? So because my background is not that, and I really need to kind of understand from people more than books. So this program really seemed to be quite an interesting one to me. Thankfully, I was selected, and I really look tired right now because I'm actually in a cycling journey from Kolkata to Majuli, and I'm right now in the middle of it. And I started at 5 a.m. and I stopped at 10:30 a.m. And I am sitting in the place of a surrendered Ulfa top commander silent space. And I actually, some bit about me, I kind of started traveling long ago, like probably from 12th class. And I have traveled in every state in India, kind of, I consider, like, some people consider me a traveler, some people consider me a foodie, some people who know me as a social worker. So there are very different profiles. But then I think I'm more of a student by heart. And wherever I'm going, particularly, I love to live in the villages. So I started, I always used to think that I would rather, I would actually like to go to 1 lakh villages in my lifetime. And in 2017, till 2017, I had already traveled about 8 to 9 lakh kilometers by road and trains. But that somehow did not satisfy me, probably because it was a very high speed travel, like trains travel at about 60, 80 kilometers per hour and all that. So I always used to see that I'm missing a lot of villages in between, when we see the villages from the train. So I thought, what will be the slowest method of travel? So what came to me was, cycling or walking. So in 2017, I got a chance to walk 400 kilometers with the 7 or 8 other people in Dandi Yatra in Gujarat. So we walked 400 kilometers without money and without phone. So that kind of became a onset. So initially I was like, without money, without phone will be a problem, but actually it turned out to be a blessing, because without money and without phone, you are so vulnerable that people start adopting you everywhere you go. You become their children. So that happened in Gujarat, but after that, everybody started calling me for all the walks happening. So, it became like, okay, there is some kind of a profession of walking. So I walked in Bastar 200 kilometers, then I walked in Uttarakhand 200 kilometers, then 100 kilometers in Maharashtra, 1800 kilometers cycling in Assam. And now what is happening is like a 1600 kilometers Kolkata to Majuli. So we stop in many villages. Right now it's a difficult situation, so we don't really create any gathering or anything right now. So what we do is we do very limited kind of talking and conversations. But what I'm still experimenting with is that during COVID, what is the most important thing? Like what I've seen, that the bigger virus than COVID is actually fear. And when we cross villages, I see that fear is less than cities, much less. And we still are welcomed by people equally, it with a little bit of a caution, than before. So people are not able to really open up, but then they still kind of enjoy talking to us. They kind of take us for food and everything. And this trip is also without money. So right now I have no money, but fortunately I have some people who were listening to my stories, and we kind of are here. And we still have another 50 kilometers to cycle. So it's like, that's why I wanted to kind of, maybe tomorrow I may not get a chance or a space equally. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ankit. Right, interesting journey, both ways. Right, so let's request
Dennis, I just want to share one quick 2 minutes. Ankit, when you're finished with your journey, do get in touch with me, because I put you in touch with all the other people who in CHLP have done it on motorcycle, bicycle, walk. There's a whole group. And when you've been in it 50 years, you know quite a few people. So there's a whole generation of travelers, including Thelma and I, who did an 82 trip. And that is how Sochara started. So we have a lot to share with each other. And thanks for your fantastically inspiring work.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. So let's request Sharda.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hope I'm audible. Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sharda Vinod. I'm a medical doctor. I am basically from Kerala. I'm a cis female. I have done my MD medicine from All India Institute of Medical Sciences at Delhi, and now I'm doing my pulmonology. I'm doing my DM in pulmonology over here. And this is I mean, it's been great to hear from everyone. And it's been inspiring already to hear the journeys that people have had, and the kind of things people are doing already. I do not have much of or any experience with community health, so to say. I've always worked in a tertiary healthcare center, but over time, especially after coming to AIIMS and seeing patients coming from various parts of rural India, because of lack of adequate access to quality healthcare and good infrastructure, in their villages or in their cities, and the harm that it does with respect to delaying the diagnosis of the patient and delaying the treatment and cure, and also increasing the amount of infectivity of certain illnesses and the contagion that is there around. I mean, I feel that if there is a better community level engagement of patients, and also in addition to that, if there is um, a strengthening of the primary and the preventive health resources that we have in our country, if that happens, then the work that is being done at the tertiary healthcare level would be more, what do I say, streamlined. And I think that overall the health of our country would improve over time. So that was the reason why when I came across this program very serendipitously, I was excited about it and I sent in my SOP, and I was really glad that I was given the opportunity to, be a part of this. So I'm really looking forward to this journey. I hope to understand more about community health. I hope to, forge a lot of friendships and network among people who are doing so much work already. So that's the hope. And in addition to that, well, about me, I like to sing and dance in my free time. I dance like no one is watching, so and that is quite difficult for many people. I have dogs. I have rescued 2 dogs, and there are 2 more, so we have 4 dogs in the house. And we feed some dogs outside. So that, and yeah, so my day is basically just filled with my dogs and my work, and whatever little song and dance that I can manage in a day. So yeah, that's about it about me, and I'm really looking forward to this journey. Thank you so much for letting me share today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharda. Right. Yeah, I do have a passion for dogs. We can talk about that another time. You probably heard my dog in the background. Okay, good. So with that, let's move on to the next person who wanted to, share. And let me get that name up. Asif. Asif, and after which Arul. Go ahead, Asif.
Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. Myself Asif Aswan, and I am from Kerala. And I did my UG in BAMS and pursuing my masters in public health from Central University of Hyderabad. Currently, it's a online session, and I have been from my home from the beginning of November itself. Before that, I did my internship. And I work doing my clinical practice in my homeland itself. And currently, due to the COVID situation, is very drastic here, and I can't open the clinic itself. And my hobby itself, I would like to travel and explore the like places and interact with the peoples, understanding their cultures, their languages, and exploring their food like that. During the Kerala flood, the work with the district Ayurvedic Association made me to think like for public health, and it made some changes in my mind, and my community prevention process helped me to be a part of this public health rather than this clinical medicine. And my free time, I would like to play football and cricket, and I'm a very good.
I'm not sure about others, but I'm unable to hear
Yeah,
Asif.
I think it's frozen for a while.
Yeah, okay, yeah, never mind. Asif, can you hear us? We lost you for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay.
This video has frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
All
move
right.
to the other person maybe.
Yeah, we'll move to another person who'd like to speak. I think Arul wanted to speak. So we will
Hello.
come back to Asif when his internet improves. Is Arul around? Some of you all.
Hello.
Yes. Uh, is Asif back or is that Arul? I'm trying to figure out. Arul, are you there? Would you like to speak? He sent a message saying that he would like to share. Okay.
Shanti, it's a she.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Arul Shanti. Yeah. I'm sorry. Arul Shanti.
She
Yeah.
had to leave by 12:30, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. Maybe.
Then Rosalind had requested.
Rosalind? Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm
Yeah, go
Rosalind,
ahead.
and I am from Visamkatak in Odisha. And my education has been, I studied bachelor's in laboratory technology from CMC Vellore. And then I worked for 3 years and I chose to study public health from SRM Chennai. And that's about my education background. And post that, my public health experience has, I started with working with Janswas Sayo in Chhattisgarh, and I'm very thankful for the choice that it gave me. It helped me experience the grassroots public health work, and through it, I also connected with many Sochara fellows, alumni. That's how I got to know about this fellowship and how they have grown by being a fellow and also with by working with Sochara. And I look forward I don't have any particular reason why I chose to join CHLP, but I'm in a state of exploring and I'm here to learn and connect with many like-minded people and people with similar interests. Other than that, my other areas of interest, what I like doing is singing, reading, and I love animals, especially dogs. And I also love traveling and exploring. That's all from me.
All right. Thank you for that, Rosalind. Right. So many people love dogs and singing as well. So we'll have a few things too. Right. Sejal, would you like to go next? You can unmute Sejal and speak. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for giving this opportunity. So I'm Sejal. I'm currently working for Drug Resistant Tuberculosis Project with Doctors Without Borders in Mumbai. And my journey is similar to Dr. Nidin Joseph's journey because he is my husband. And it's the same that we started our journey in 2013 by the Uttarakhand floods disaster with HelpAge India. And after that, we moved with Karuna Trust organization to work in Arunachal and Meghalaya in the primary healthcare centers there. And yes, as Nidhin is associated with AIDS, and that is how we got to know about Jan Swasthya Sahyog and many other organizations. And that is how we also came to know about Sochara. And currently, Humeta Foundation is the thing that we have started. Uh, when Dr. Thelma was talking about her journey and Dr. Narayan was sharing his experience of like connecting a network of people. So that is what was going in my mind that this Humeta Foundation also we have started on the same principles, like to have a network of all the like-minded people all over the country and to inspire the youth to understand their responsibilities and to be sensitive around the issues going around them. And yeah, currently we are running a call center through Humeta Foundation for COVID awareness. So I would like that whoever is interested in volunteering with us, like I heard Dr. Anbu Dorai, he's a psychiatrist. So, I mean, it's just a request that if people could help join the call center and would be playing a part in counseling or in any other thing that they would like to, then I would like to invite people for that. And other than working and all, I like cooking and trekking, obviously. And I like to work in the Himalayas where there is not much healthcare available to the people. So that is what we both have been doing since many years, and in future also, uh, I would like to work in Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, and yeah, that's it from my side.
Dennis, can I take a minute actually?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. So, and taking clue from whatever Sejal said, no. So I wanted to talk about the helpline, what we are talking. So already Sochara is working very closely with the Meta. We are setting up the national helpline, and the four of the fellows in this particular batch, they're all involved directly. Actually, we probably, hopefully, we'll see more and more people join in. Thanks, Sejal, for bringing it out. So Nidin, Sejal, Aravindan, Abhirami, four are involved actually, along with few other our friends, Sochara friends in Chennai. Amir, Suresh, they are also involved actually.
Right, Guru. Anything else common among the four people, Guru, you'd like to tell?
I mean, all
They're all very committed people. Maybe we'll
correct.
leave it at that. They're all very committed people.
Now, all four of them, they got inspiration from the Aid India. Can I say that, Soja? Association for India's Development.
Right,
Thanks,
and also
thanks,
committed to community, committed to each
definitely,
other. Okay,
definitely.
good.
Yes, yes, yes.
Good. So maybe since you mentioned them, would one of the two of them from Coimbatore like to speak? I'm not picking this up. I'm just picking on people now without picking from here. Arvind and Abhirami, would one of you like to speak now?
Yeah, sure. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you, Arvind. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Aravindan from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. I'm genuinely happy to be among you in this CHLP journey. And before I move on to tell about me, and I just wanted to congratulate Dr. Dennis. You're doing a fantastic job of hosting. I think in your previous birth, you may have been some video jockey or something. I'm not sure about that. So thank you. And it is very difficult to keep an online session engaged, and you're doing a great job. And about me, I'm a software professional working with Oracle India, and I've worked for a few years in the US, and then in Bangalore, and now in Coimbatore. Completed MCA and MCA is Masters in Computer Application, and then later Masters in Social Work. My volunteering actually started with AID, Association for India's Development US, and then Aid India while I was in Bangalore. That's when I came to know about the inspiring people, Dr. Ravi and Thelma. And I was primarily, at that time, I was primarily volunteering with education related intervention. And then after moving to Coimbatore 4 years ago, my wife Abhirami and myself started a healthcare nonprofit called DoctorNet India. So it makes healthcare accessible to socio-economically backward people from remote villages, primarily across Tamil Nadu, few places in Kerala, and a few places near in Assam. So in addition to doing the curative health guidance, last year during the COVID first wave lockdown, from our organization, we joined with Sochara and MNI to do a psychosocial support line in Tamil Nadu, and wherein we had 25 psychologists doing helping 400 distress callers during the lockdown and loss of livelihood situation. And CHLP, I believe, is the best place for us to transition our work primarily from curative health guidance towards our journey to preventive and holistic well-being aspects. So, and that's about that. And personally, my family, my wife, you will hear from her shortly. She's in one of the screens. And I have two daughters. First daughter is in 10th grade. Second daughter is in 6th grade. They've completed 10th and 6th. I love photography and traveling. Looking forward to a great journey. Thank you once again.
Thank you for those kind words as we started. And so we have a few more things in common. It appears, Arvind. I too have two daughters, and I love traveling. I love photography. Only thing we don't have in common is my wife is not on the screen. She's on some other screen somewhere else. So maybe we should get your wife on screen here now. So where is Abhirami? Let me start speaking, Abhirami, then you'll come up.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Hi everyone, this is
And she has
Abhirami.
such a lovely smile. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm from Coimbatore. So I've started this volunteering 9 years back. I was a homemaker like 20 for the past 22 years, and started this journey like volunteering 9 years back. And I initially started raising funds for an organization which helps poor patients for the medical support. In the due course, I came across so many patients. I understood the need of the patient, and I understood and even understood the importance of an empathetic doctor or empathetic treatment. So I used to share with the family, my husband especially, and so in like last 4 years back, we started this DoctorNet India. So we initially started helping them to get curative treatment, like across many villages for the underprivileged people. And later, we used to travel in the due course. We used to travel like last 2-3 years. We have been traveling to many community health hospitals like THI in Sithilingi Tribal Health Initiative and CFH in Ottanjatram and a few other community health hospitals, and it made us realize the need of need to work in the preventive health and in promoting awareness among the people. So we are like very much interested in doing so. In the last 2 years, we were like involved in such activities, and we could see some remarkable difference among the people while doing it. And and this CHLP program, we are actually looking for to learn more about and implement it in more better way. So, and my hobbies, I love cooking and traveling too.
Right. Good. So many people love cooking. We wish we could go on a camp together.
Dennis, I just want to say one thing.
Yes.
Just to report that this is the first CHLP, which of course is our 13th CHLP, which has two couples together. We have had many CHLPs where we've had couples come for one and then the other one comes for the other, or couples are made during CHLP, or they are sort of, but this is a really lovely feeling to see Nidhin and Sejal and Abhirami and Aravindan. Three of them I have met already before, but it's the first time. I just want to report that. And in a strange sort of way, though, Sochara is not, and it's open to everybody, but couples have brought a certain stability and sustainability. And I can think of so many all over the country where, they may not be CHLP, but couples do bring a certain stability. And in community health, I'm not trying to make out for people who are single, but in that way, but it does help because the community then begins to work with you even more comfortably and in a lovely way. So I really welcome to four of you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Especially,
Thank you so much.
But to all the other people, with no pressures that anybody should become couple. Okay, all the best.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thelma and me, it's one of been our best find, best learning to know each other and to work together for, so many years. And it's just so nice to see other people do the same. Thanks.
Right. Thank you for bringing that up, Ravi. It's nice to know that couples join. And I'm really interested to know people who became couples after joining CHLP. So that option is available. And I'm sure Guru has not put that in the objectives of the program. It's not there. Okay. But it helps. So options open. Okay. So we have about 12 minutes to go. I thought we'll take a little detour from what we are doing. And in about 3 or 4 minutes, people have been asking, now you've heard from kind of a little more than maybe half of them. So what is the overall profile of these people? How many doctors, how many social scientists, and how many other people from different backgrounds? So why don't we take a look at that? So I'm going to quickly share this little document or little presentation with you on who our people are, and also the selection process that we have gone through. So I'm going to run through this quite quickly. Okay. So so we're going to look at this is the overview. We had 63 applicants. of which we shortlisted 84%, and then we selected 35, that is 67% of those who were shortlisted, and we had waitlisted 4 people in case any one of you who were selected, for whatever reason, are not able to give that commitment. But nobody came back to us and said, so the waitlisted people, unfortunately, are not part of this group now. So what did we have? So we had your CV and your SOP, and we are very inclusive. So we welcome people to write in whatever language they want, to speak in whatever language we want, they prefer to, whatever they're most comfortable with. So you may have, some of the discussion. You heard people today speaking in Hindi. That's more than welcome. So the SOPs were actually translated, and we reviewed them. We had 4 people in the interview panel. 3 persons at least interviewed each of them. So between Thelma and I, we interviewed all 52 people who were shortlisted, and our heart was breaking at the end of it to make the selection and to select 35 and leave out the others. But here we are. So Ramani interviewed about 30 people, and Guru interviewed 22 people. So the final selection meeting we had over 2 hours on Zoom. It was a tough process for us to finally select people. So our selection criteria were not just the interview scores, but we looked at commitment to long-term, community health, and also people who came from disadvantaged communities or regions to some extent. So look at the range of people in terms of age, 21 to 56. So whole range of people, and women were little more than the men over here, and 86% had a postgraduate degree. More than about a quarter of our people had more than one degree from a different background. Like, for example, technology and public health, nursing or BDS and public health, technology and social work, and masters in development as well. Yeah, here we go. So in terms of education, we had those who did social work and MA sociology, 13 of you. Postgraduate allopathic doctors were 7. B tech or technology, 6 of you. 3 of the participants or fellows did dentistry, 2 did MPH, 2 did Ayush, 1 nutrition, and we also had 4 people who did an undergraduate science background, 2 from undergraduate background, sorry, 2 from science and 2 from social sciences. Where are people working? So firstly, we had 14 of our states, more than half of our states in the country represented. Of course, the major states. Majority came from Madhya Pradesh, mainly from JSS, 5 from Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Maharashtra, 3 each, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Assam, 2, UP, Jharkhand, Kerala, Telangana, Mizoram, we had 1 each. So to summarize, excellent diversity. We are really excited by this. Very, very highly motivated people, as you saw now. Both Elba and I were, at the end of our interview, many times, people are exhausted after 3 hours, 4 hours. I've sat on many interview panels, but after, talking to you people, I wouldn't really say interviewing you, but after talking to all of you, we too felt motivated and excited. And one word Dr. Thelma kept saying, so many young people, so committed in community health, India is in good hands. She said that many times, and I'm going to repeat that. India is in good hands. So many young people, so committed, and already done so many wonderful things, as we have seen from this brief sharing. So yet again, let me tell you, friends, she said repeatedly, India is in good hands, and we can echo that. So highly qualified as well. So many of you with a postgraduate degree, and some of you with even a doctoral degree, and some of you doing PhDs right now. It's wonderful. So it's a good representation across regions, across specialties, and we are really, really excited. So I'll stop here. That was my quick sharing, and this is being recorded, so we can share this with a few of you who unfortunately had to leave. So we could have 2 more people before our time to conclude, and I think we'll have a stop at 1 o'clock. Otherwise, we can go on and on. So anybody wants to volunteer, anybody keen, and as Radhika says here, for sure we'll have another session for introductions. So anyone would like, 2 more people could share now before we close.
Aniket had volunteered. I don't know whether
Aniket, I think I saw a message from him, Radhika, that he wanted to leave. But if Aniket is around and come back, we are more than happy to have you share. Right. I think Aniket sent a message probably just to me saying that he would like to leave. Anyone else? Okay, I always have my magic ball here, so I'll pick that. Priyanka. Yeah,
Priyanka.
Priyanka. Priyanka, go ahead. You know what? Now you're hesitant to start. I'm sure in a few weeks from now we're gonna find it difficult to make you stop talking, right? So we have Priyanka and Swagatika. We'll start with Priyanka. Go ahead, Priyanka. Start talking. Unmute and go ahead.
So am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, Priyanka.
Okay. So my name is Priyanka De. I am from West Bengal, especially from Durgapur, West Bengal. And my bachelor's I have done in Ayurvedic medicine and surgery from Bangalore, and then I have done my master's from TISS in Master in Public Health, specialization in social epidemiology. Um, and currently, I am working as a quality consultant in maternal health for Shahdol district, Madhya Pradesh, JSS. Again, this was a blessing, JSS. And like I remember, like you said, Sochara, once we are in Sochara, we can leave Sochara, but Sochara never leaves us. So I have been listening this when I was in TISS. The same dialogue has been said and it stayed with me. And again, I heard the same thing in JSS as well. So I am counting myself to be a blessed one that wherever I'm going into, the communities are not letting me go. So it's a blessing. Thank you all for that. And my hobbies are like, again, I'm interested in dogs. Again, I love exploring. I love traveling. I love photography. And I love eating. I don't know much about cooking, but I do love eating and tasting various dishes. And obviously, non-veg and sweets are my favorite. And yeah, I love reading books, and I read various genres of books, fiction, non-fiction. It has to be interesting enough. uh, and I love watching movies, videos, whatever comes in YouTube, whichever platform it is, I just watch it. And I love critiquing, like giving critical analysis for those. So that's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Priyanka. With so many people cooking, we need somebody to eat, right? So I will join you in that, right? So I also love to eat. I can cook a fair bit. That's not too bad. Okay, good. So from that, we'll move on to Swagatika. Want to join us, Swagatika?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
So my name is Swagatika and I'm from Orissa, though I have moved around in a lot of places and now I'm currently in Mumbai. And I've been a dentist and I've practiced for about 4 years, but I think I always wanted to interact with the community and work. So I switched to Masters in Public Health and I'm doing it from this. It's my last week doing the course and very excited to get accepted in this fellowship of Sochara, which actively works along with the community. And I got to know a lot about Sochara from a batchmate of mine who was doing her internship from Sochara in Chennai. So she told me about the community work. So I was very motivated to join this organization. I just have worked in public health as a part of my curriculum in TIS. So worked with Bombay Leprosy Project and also worked on acute malnourishment. But I look forward to learning more, and I've seen so many people discuss so many things of their work and experience, and it's very nice to know that our cohort in fellows in Sochara is so diverse. Apart from that, I would say my hobbies would be watching documentaries. I listen to a lot of music. I love exploring cultures of different states as well. So music documentaries from all over the countries, irrespective of the language, I'm very much interested in watching them. And photography and art is one of the things which I'm very passionate about. So I love painting and sketching and all DIYs. I do a lot of that. That's all from my end, sir.
Good. Thank you so much. That was really wonderful. Good. So we've unfortunately reached the end of our time. Niveta, are you okay if we can have a more relaxed listening to you next time? I hope Niveta, you're okay. Niveta sent a message if there is time, like to share. So maybe you can start off. You can be the opening batsman. So I also learned that in cricket, even ladies are called batsmen. That's what I learned. I hope I'm right about that. Right. Okay. So with this, let's conclude. And before I do that, let me check with my colleagues. Is there something critical that we need to tell people apart from planning our next session? Is there anything else that we need to tell now?
No, I think we can go ahead with planning the next session. So
right. What I was thinking of is today is Wednesday, right? One possibility is Saturday if everybody is fine with it. Saturday for many people are a little relaxed. If not that, then we can do it early next week. So what we will do is we'll send out a message rather than taking a decision now. We are running out of time. We'll send a message out or maybe even a doodle poll so that you can choose. So my first option seems to be Saturday, but then we'll see whether Saturday or in the coming week. So good. So welcome again. We at Sochara are super excited, and I forgot to mention to you that this is historic for Sochara in its more than quarter of a century's existence, and it's a major activity of Sochara. So we are putting in all our energies into it, and we are so happy and excited to have all of you in this program. And we'll tell you why this is historic later on, right? So we'll keep something for later. And somebody even asked me, like, no, I haven't done my introduction. We'll keep that also for next time, right? Each of us have our own exciting and a different story. All of us, we're not cookie cutter people, right? We are all out of the normal bell-shaped curve, and each of us have our story. So we'll save that for next time. And just to remind you, this is just level 1 of our sharing. There's a lot more. Level 2 as to why we took up community health, what excites us. Level 3, and that'll take more time. Level 3, and we'll do that during the program. There'll be plenty of time. Only unfortunately we are doing it online, but this is better. This is better than even 1 year back we didn't have this facility, right? Like Zoom, where we can see each other so well. Skype and other things were there, but it was not as nice and easy and smooth as this. So with this, let's conclude. Huge thanks to everybody from Sochara who made this happen. Huge thanks to all of you who are so committed and joined in, and also for sharing so nicely. I like the enthusiasm where people said, I want to share. No, today I want to do that. So that just says that we want to connect with people. So as always, stay safe, your family, your loved ones. And I want to leave you with this one message. In case you feel it, reach out. I mean, COVID is the most challenging times that we've ever had, we and including our parents, right? We've never seen anything like this, not even the World War, right? Even if your grandparents are around and then they talk to you about the World War, this has been even worse. So please reach out. If you're feeling low, reach out, and also reach out to people who are in difficulty. So the magic word to close this is reach out for yourselves and for other people. And we are already on our way to make this world a better place, and each of us have joined one level higher together in this launch that we had as a group of CHLP 21. So take care, stay safe, and we're going to see you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dennis. Bye.
Thank you and bye.
Bye, everybody.
I'm holding the key to the room. So if I close this, then everybody gets quickly shut off. So I'll wait for a few more seconds. And right, our core team, we will catch up later on, maybe in the afternoon later. Yeah. Okay. Bye.